have to see what happens because the opponent is pretty maneuverable. Might be able to get around it. Either way, though, playing that Kai, the bread and butter, the classic.
Plays like the standard Kai, not one of those wild Churara style, like run up HDP at you. Kind of just plays good buttons, but
and he picks the right character. That's the right character to play it with, right? That's your white bread. My man knows what he's about, and he's committed to the cause. I respect that.
But we get that new skin, too.
Hey, yo.
Letting the intros rock.
You got to. It's the first one.
It's the first set of the top 12.
I don't know how I feel about that new skin. He looks like he has not been eaten well. My man's a little sickly.
The shading's a bit odd. Okay, I didn't want to say it until we saw it on screen. Ruka is a backdasher. He loves to play neutral by trying to make you whiff with a backdash. And I think in most interactions that you're going to see, it'll be like Ruka trying to space and trap you.
That's very much just the nature of a fast character, right? You want to take advantage. It's almost like you perpetually have your opponent cornered because you can outspeed them so hard.
Yeah, and I think the way they've designed Chip, this version of Strive, ever since like Season 1 really, has been very focused on making him more of a grounded character. He isn't the Xrd jump around all the time kind of guy.
Right. Of course, they've gone back on that a little bit.
A tiny bit.
There you go, with the tightrope right there.
Ooh, the same side.
I like that idea for Maneuverable. You're like, you know what? I don't want to deal with any of this. Get off me.
Yeah, I don't know how much Maneuverable, or really anybody, has dealt with Chip mix so far. Chip is actually not the most common character.
Ooh. Okay. Cross up there. Going some high-low here. Not going to work out. Maneuverable. Playing it nice and safe. Little RRC damage for your troubles as well, and now you are stuck in the corner.
Ooh, actually mistimed the meaty. Same side low, blocks. But, the classic off-the-blade cross-up.
That's dirty. Okay, my man's been in the lab.
Oh, okay. I thought he had the air-to-air conversion. Trying to do his best burn impression, but doesn't come out.
Ooh, I love that. That is so flashy.
I thought he was doing a setup, but that was just like a tightrope combo.
That was just true. This is what I was talking about at the beginning of the block, right? We don't even know what's going to come with some of this stuff. These are the players who have been optimizing it in the lab, and this is their first big opportunity here at Don't Park on the Grass to show what they've been up to.
Tricky low.
Okay, when's that high coming? There it is. He was ready for it. Great reaction from Ruka, but you're still in the corner. I tell a lie. As soon as he does that, the cross up. But where's Kai?
Yeah, I don't like Maneuverable going into the Fudra arc when he doesn't have shock state on, because it's just minus. Ooh. Wake up DP. Okay, reaction DP to beat the overhead. Mix time. Gets hit. Same side JD.
Goes for the fuzzy little cross up there. Hard to follow, but guesses right. PRC goes for the grab to try to break out of that scramble scenario. And so much airtime from Ruka in that round.
Yeah, I love the decision to just do the Alpha Blade out into PRC. But Maneuverable's defense is really solid. And Maneuverable's a player who has leveled up a lot, I think, in the past 6 months here. Previously was not someone who was like threatening to take tournaments, and now is already up a game against Ruka.
Yeah, Maneuverable is doing a really good job of shutting down the offense. You called out that reaction DP earlier. In general, I mean, for both players this is the case, but Maneuverable choosing when to use those DPs and those kinds of options was so critical to shut down the horrifying offense that is Chip.
Yeah, honestly, stayed strong in the face of all the new tightrope gimmicks and fake cross-up same side nonsense, and just came out on top.
We're taking some deep breaths after that one. That was a long hold.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't see them, like, messing with buttons or anything. That was just straight-up thinking time.
I respect it. You should take that moment to breathe and calm yourself down after such an intense first game.
He hit him with a let me think real quick. The ponder.
Yeah, it was a long first game as well. Like, usually Strive is a pretty fast game.
Yeah, you're right. It was long.
But when it goes to 3 rounds and both players are playing pretty defensively, it can go long.
Yeah, no, like, two-touch vortexes to be had, for sure.
Oh, I think messed up the tightrope tech there.
Okay, just block in the air gives him a pretty good opportunity there. Maneuverable actually crosses up below, so now he has more space to work with.
Yeah,
doesn't even need it, though.
Not safe. You cannot do that overhead without meter unless you're willing to risk your life, and a life it cost.
Yes, it did. Maneuverable now up an entire round off of just a couple little mistakes.
Maneuverable's defense has been so good with the reactions, but also the just blocks.
Yes. Nice cross-up counter combo there. Once again, Maneuverable locking down Ruka in the corner. The character who's supposed to be so good at dealing with the pressure is instead dealing with these DPs in the corner and on their last life.
Does have burst, though. This is Ruka's chance. The mix just, it hasn't really worked out. Oh,
and that's why, that right there is why, because Maneuverable knows exactly when you're going to those setups. I think that's a big part of it, right? It's not that it's a bunch of guess rights on the strike throws, on the high-lows. It's the preemptive guessing when the setup is coming.
Yeah, you know, people sometimes malign mashing or reversals or whatever, but the sign of good defense is knowing when you need to press. And Maneuverable has been right more often than he's been wrong.
Oh, we love mashing around here.
And, you know, versus Chip, who's such like a low-health character, being right on defense 2 or 3 times is enough to win you around.
Absolutely. I mean, it's the nature of the game. It's the nature of the character. Sometimes it compounds in pretty scary ways. And now we are taking another deep breath, really thinking about the adaptations as we go into what may be Ruka's last stand.
Yeah, and is this winners or losers? Do you know?
This is losers.
So yeah, this really is Ruka's last life in the tournament. And I know he has some secondaries, but I think Chip is his main. Stick with it. He can make this reverse 3-0. It's going to be tough, but he can do it.
Well, he's choosing to stick it out. We'll see if it's going to be enough. Maneuverable looking so solid, even more solid in that second game, just getting all of the right reads. But Ruka off to that early opening, but you need to get more, like you were saying.
Yep. Does the 2D clone Oki, just runs out of there.
Put himself in a bit of an awkward spot there because you've accidentally cornered yourself. So if you're Maneuverable, you know, yeah, he's going to be coming in and trying to uncorner himself.
Okay, big counter hit. Not able to get a full conversion because he went straight into Rekka, but super going to be enough to give a hard knockdown after the wall break. And yeah, honestly, as strong as Chip is on offense, his mix post-wall break is really not that threatening.
Yeah, we feel the attempts that he had there of like, am I going to cross you up or not? But it wasn't enough to get past Maneuverable, who can kind of fuzzy that if you're really on your timing there. Speaking of on timing, Maneuverable trying to mess up Ruka's time and wants him to swing.
Maneuverable actually went for the new Season 4 only combo with the Shock State HTP route, but kind of dropped it towards the end.
Yeah.
I think the RC scaling might have made it so you couldn't pick up with the 2S afterwards.
Ah.
And that's big too, because it denied a wall break, which would have been positive bonus and more meter.
Right, and when you're in that situation, again, like it's Chip, right? He's basically one hit at that point. He didn't have any burst. Speaking of burst, Maneuverable finally has his back, but when do you choose to spend it or do you save it for offense?
Good throw, you're in the vortex now. Okay, great mash out. Not scared of Ruka with 50 meter on deck.
RC, there you go. Great usage of the burst. He was saving that for so long.
I thought that was baited almost, but... Okay, Rekka super. Last chance for Maneuverable, and you can no longer DPRC.
This is scary. 0 resources, like you said.
Good backdash. YRC? No. Just has faith in his defense. And
he knows.
His defense has been serving him well for most of the set, but that game it wasn't quite enough. And it always feels bad when you lose with 100 meter on deck. Like, there's so many strong defensive tools in this game. I would have loved to see him just at least YRC once.
That was a much faster game as well, and I think that speaks to what Ruka needs in this set. He needs the fast pace, he needs the schmicks. Maneuverable has been trying to slow this whole thing down, trying to shut down those combo starters, those happy birthday buttons before they get a chance.
Yeah, okay. Again, like, you kind of said it right there, how Maneuverable's been playing more defensive. Starts off round start, just a backdash.
Yeah, fair enough. Ruka's been swinging, you might as well try to punish it, and punishing it, he is already stuck in the corner at about half health. Yeah, hold that mix. I'm going high. When am I going to go low? Finally, Ruka snaps out. RRC?
Has the RC to keep it safe. Classic stun edge RC, I'm nice. And also, speaking of classic, Rekka super. Ever since they added that car cancel in, it has been the Chip's go-to for ending with the wall.
And once again, Ruka going for the same option on Wake Up, and I think Maneuverable was pretty ready for it. Ooh, a little bit slow.
Ruka tried to DP during like the RC freeze frame, but just messed it up.
That's tough.
Rare super ender.
You love to see it. I love to see it.
It's a cool one. It's a cool one.
It's
and
so
you also get the cinematic like superhero land on the ground.
Yeah, it's a great shot. They killed it with the visuals in this game all the way through.
Yeah, Maneuverable is not phased by this tightrope mix or this Ruka pressure.
I would like to point out, though, speaking of the tightrope mix, we're seeing a lot less of it now. I think Ruka is going back to basics, feeling like that pressure's not quite ready for bracket yet.
Yeah, I think has had more success with the K Alpha mix than anything else, so I respect the decision to just do it. Okay, backdash. Most characters cannot block after that backdash there, but Chips is fast enough. Ruka super.
Yeah, hold that at the wall.
Fortunately, it is Chips, so it's not that much damage. Gonna have at least 2 tries left. Okay, wild assault route. Another wall break, 100 meter and positive bonus.
Yeah, that's a lot of tension right there. Let's see if he gets to use it. Immediate RRC, because why not? Into another super ender.
Also, really smart from Ruka to do RC super there as opposed to the B&B. Because although the B&B might do more damage, it would give Maneuverable back burst potentially. And so doing RC super just says, you have no chance to burst. I'm going to finish you off before you have a chance to breathe.
You know what that tells me? That tells me that Ruka is locked in, not overstressed. Because when you're in your own head, you're over-analyzing everything. That's the kind of stuff that you drop first.
Yeah, I mean, Ruka's a really experienced player, and doing stuff to lock out burst is such like a Blaze Blue classic, the game he comes from.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised at all.
Yeah, that's on the radar right away. We're talking about stress. Now Maneuverable very much on the back foot after a really strong 2-0 initial opening.
Yeah, I mean, we said the reverse 3-0 was possible. It's almost looking probable now. Has to burst.
That's a lot of commitment on resources. Speaking of which, RRC forcing the burst out of Ruka. At least you're back on even footing.
Yeah, finally the stun for RC works. Oh my goodness, the whiff punish on Fuka
There's
arc.
the cross up.
Okay. That was the first like fake same side we've seen. I like the layers to the mix.
Yeah, we've been waiting for that.
Okay, again, Jump JS. Really good at stuffing any like tightrope repressure shenanigans. And recognizes that FS is slow enough, you can go for 2K instead of the normal like DP option there.
Ooh, one more hit. That's going to take that round.
Yep, caught the backdash attempt, I think.
And that's one more shot Maneuverable. Has been so good with, you mentioned that JS as a little bit of a preemptive get off me, right? Catch him before he has a chance to schmix. We saw it falter a couple times against the normal pressure. It's looking a lot better against the tightrope because of things like that. Ruka is swinging first.
Yeah, it's hard to air-to-air chip successfully with how fast air-dash JD is.
Yes. And I think that Ruka is getting more and more aware of that, recognizing that Maneuverable may have answers to the new stuff, but he doesn't have answers to the classics.
Yeah. Good routing here, but drops it at the ends. One touch in the mix. I think that's it. RC, wall break super. Okay, actually not gonna get the wall break here. This might be alive.
It was very close, to be sure.
Yeah,
right? Even if he doesn't kill, he's in a pretty bad spot there.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
But Ruka taking it. The reverse 3-0 over Maneuverable.